Good evening, dear students. In the first class of electrochemistry, I discussed with you about some defining terms like electrochemistry, anode, cathode, different types of cells, and so on. Today again, I have to discuss some terms with you about which you must have knowledge. So see here one by one. First of all, metallic conductors or electronic conductors. The topic is conductors. These are metallic substances which allow the electricity to pass through them without undergoing any chemical change. Example, metals and their alloys. Now some important things with this, that the flow of electric current through metallic conductors is due to the flow of electrons in the metal atoms. Remember. Now the second important thing is that electrical conductance through metals is called metallic conductance or electronic conductance. Now the next thing is electrolytes. Electrolytes or the electrolytic conductors. These are the substances which allow the electricity to pass through them in their molten states or in the form of their aqueous solutions and undergo chemical decomposition. Means the in electrolytic conductors there is a chemical change with the substance, but in electronic conductors there will be no chemical change with the metals. Remember. Now next thing, important thing is that the flow of electric current through an electrolytic solution is due to the flow of ions either in molten state or in aqueous solution. Now, electrical conductance through ions in the solution of electrolyte is called ionic conductance or electrolytic conductance. Now the difference between electronic and electrolytic conduction is that this conduction is carried by the movement of electron, but it is carried by the movement of ions. Now, second, it involves no change in the chemical properties of conductors, but it involves the change of, resulting in the decomposition of electrolyte, or it involves the chemical reaction which results in the decomposition of electrolyte. Now, its conductivity is high, its conductivity is low. It decreases with increase in temperature, it increases with increase in temperature. It does not involve the transfer of any matter, it involves the transfer of matter in the form of ions. Now the concept of strong and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes, the electrolytes which are almost completely dissociated in aqueous solution into ions, which are completely dissociated into ions in aqueous solution, are known as strong electrolytes. Generally, strong acids, strong bases are strong electrolytes, and salts of strong acids and bases are also strong electrolytes. Weak electrolytes. The electrolytes which do not ionize completely in the aqueous solution are called weak electrolytes. Examples are weak acids and weak bases. Weak acids and weak bases are weak electrolytes. Note, in case of weak electrolytes, an equilibrium is established between the unionized electrolyte and the ions of formed in solution. Means, I mean to say that in case of weak electrolytes, there will be two sides. One will be the reactant side and other will be the product side. But in case of strong electrolytes, all the substance will dissociate into ions. So there will be only one part, that is product part. But since in weak electrolytes, few molecules will dissociate to give ions, that's why it has two parts. One is undissociated part and other is dissociated part. So equilibrium, so the case of equilibrium can come in this case. Remember, very important thing. Now the note number 2, the extent of ionization of a weak electrolyte is expressed in terms of degree of ionization or degree of dissociation. It is defined as the fraction of total number of molecules of the electrolyte which ionize in the solution, or the ratio of the molecules of the electrolyte which split into ions to the total number of molecules of the electrolyte. This is the, so now the electronic concept of oxidation and reduction. The next topic is the electronic concept of oxidation and reduction. So how will you find the degree of dissociation? That the number of molecules which dissociate by the total number of molecules, then you will get the degree of dissociation. Now the electronic concept of oxidation and reduction. Oxidation and reduction reactions can also be studied in terms of the transference of electrons in the reacting species which take part in a chemical reaction. This is known as electronic concept. So what happens in electronic concept with oxidation reduction? Let us see that according to this concept, oxidation may be defined as the process in which an atom or ion loses one or more electrons. So see here, this is atom which loses electrons here, and this is ion which the group of atom, that is ion, that is the an ion which is made up of group of atoms. It also loses here electrons, see here. So this is about the electronic concept of the oxidation. Similarly, just reverse of the about the electronic concept of reduction. Reduction may be defined as the process in which an atom or ion gains one or more electrons. So see here, this is the electronic concept of the reduction. Cl atom has is gaining one electron here, and it changes into Cl minus ion, and this is ferricyanide, this is ferrocyanide. When ferricyanide complex ion takes one electron, it comes in the form of ferro ion. Here conclusion, oxidation involves loss of one or more electrons. Number 2, reduction involves gain of one or more electrons. an electron losing species is called reducing agent, and electron accepting species is called oxidizing agent. See here, once again I am reading. Oxidation involves loss of one or more electrons, reduction involves gain of one or more electrons. Electron losing species is called reducing agent, electron accepting species is called oxidizing agent. So this is the example of redox reaction. So sodium here loses one electron and Cl atom gains electron. Now representation of an electrochemical cell. An electrochemical cell or galvanic cell consists of two electrodes, that is anode and cathode. The electrolyte solution containing these electrodes are called half cells, which when these two half cells are combined, a cell is formed. So what is an electrochemical cell? Electrochemical cell or galvanic cell consists of two electrodes, that is anode and cathode. The electrolyte solution containing these two electrodes are called electrolytic solution containing these electrodes are called half cells. When these two half cells are combined, a cell is formed. The following conventions are used in representing an electrochemical cell. So see the points that how will you notify or represent a galvanic cell in your copy. See here, a galvanic cell is represented by writing the anode on the left hand side and cathode on the right hand side. Next point, the anode of the cell is represented by writing metal first and then electrolyte or its cation, while cathode is represented by writing the electrolyte first and then metal or solid phase. Third point, the metal and the cation. The metal and the cation is separated either by a semicolon or by a vertical line. For further information, the concentration of the electrolyte is also mentioned within bracket after the cation. So from this example it is clear. Let us see the example here. So you can write this in this way or in this way and in this way, because here the concentration of the electrolyte is also mentioned, but in this case concentration is not mentioned. If you have to give the full information of a particular single electrode, you have to mention the concentration of the electrolyte after the cation, after the solution or the symbol of the solution in the form of cation. So this is about. And when the salt bridge which represents the two half cells, means which separates the two half cells, is known as salt bridge, and that is indicated by two vertical lines like this. I have not put here two vertical lines, Zn2 plus, and it will be like this. This is the symbol of salt bridge. 1 m. This is about so this is the full representation of a galvanic cell. Okay, we will see in the next class about the electrode potential and rest things related to the representation of the cell.